Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the world's biggest stars, and we've got one for you today. Criss Angel, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Nice to see you again.
I just came in to see your show here at the Planet Hollywood. It's full circle. This is where you started. What's amazing about this new show is I thought I'd seen the best magic show ever, which was Mindfreak Live at Luxor. Now you bring it to Planet Hollywood, and it's 10 times better. It's beautiful. It's completely immersive. It's loud. It's in your face. It's sort of multi-sensory. It is the greatest magic show I've ever seen, ever. Congratulations, it's beautiful.
Thank you so much. I mean, you see so many shows, so coming from you, that's a tremendous compliment. We worked really, really hard on this show. This is the dream. Finally, the dream realized. What I always wanted to do finally has happened here at Planet Hollywood. I did start here back with Mindfreak. I shot almost 50 episodes of Mindfreak here, and to be back home, it feels amazing.
What's incredible about this show is it would be good if you weren't in it. I mean, it is a beautiful show, and that's what you are really at heart, is a producer more than a magician. You know how to make magic look good, because let's face it, magic is magic. What's unique about this is the scale of the show. It's enormous, isn't it?
Well, yeah, as an artist, I use a lot of different paintbrushes and colors, and that's been my mantra ever since I started, just at different levels. This opportunity has given me a canvas to really create something that the world of entertainment has never seen before. It's the most immersive. It's a visual feast for the senses. There's more lights than all 7 Cirque du Soleil shows combined, moving lights. There's more video, 500 million pixels of video than any show ever in the world. More like technology than any pop star playing in an arena. I mean, this show is really the first fully immersive experience, and I think it raises the bar for entertainment, even in the entertainment capital world that is Las Vegas.
You, of course, are a magician, but you're also a rock star, aren't you? Let's face it, this show more than ever is about sound and light and the whole feel of the show. You love that, because this is where you come alive.
Yeah, I think for me, it's always been about emotion. I always want to connect to people. I always want the audience to understand what they're supposed to be feeling, and the lighting and the video content and the movement, the costuming, the piece all make sense together with the emotion I'm trying to express. And I think we've accomplished that mission with Mindfreak here at Planet Hollywood more than ever, because we do have the ability to really move people in a way, because all of the support that we gain from the lighting, from the video, from the immersive experience really connects to people. So it's not only how does he do that, what's more important is how you feel when you watch it. Right. And you will feel the magic of emotion.
And again, through this show, we get to see different Criss Angels. What I love most of all about this show is we get more of you than we've ever got, which might seem strange, because for 10 years you were doing a magic show. But there's particular sections in this show where you're as raw as you can be. You get to meet the audience, talk to the audience, bring them on the stage, and anything can happen, anything can go wrong. This, I guess, keeps you fresh, because you don't know what they're going to say, you don't know what they're going to do.
Well, I wanted the ability to play 3 different personas. Criss Angel, as you see on TV, Christos, this crazy, wild, campy character, and then Christopher, the guy that's talking to you right now. So the audience gets to see all the different, kind of personas, characters of Criss, and I take my guard down. I'm vulnerable. It's not scripted. There's no teleprompters. Anything can happen, and I really feed off that. I love doing impromptu theater. Like doing improv is exciting to me. Not having a script, I'm not reading a teleprompter. I've never done that. I never will do that. To me, the audience is paying to have an experience with me, and every audience is different, and every experience should be different.
And you certainly don't wear your slippers on stage during this performance, and we get to see that, because there's one beautiful bit where the straitjacket routine is done. We've seen it before, but you do it over us. I mean, it's one of the most spectacular bits of theatre I've ever seen, partly because if you fell, you could wipe out 20 people in the audience and you'd be sued for millions.
Well, what's amazing to me is that I get the audience screaming their lungs out, standing up, jumping up and down like we're in a freaking concert, and I didn't even do anything except be brought out over the audience's heads. I mean, what show in Las Vegas gets applause for doing nothing? I mean, it's like people are so, it's because when you walk into this environment, you know you're not gonna see something that we've ever seen before. This is much more in line of a concert that you're gonna see from a pop star, from a rock star. You know, you're not here hearing water dripping, you're here and you're excited and you're interacting with your phone and you're seeing your footage and your face and your tweets and your Instagram come up, you know, all over the theater, light up the theater before the show even begins. So it really sets a different tone, a tone that I'm not aware of in any show. And so people want to explode and erupt into excitement and applause. And, you know, when you deliver the goods, then it makes it much more special for them because they can really feel an experience and an excitement that they probably were amped up to have, but we delivered.
It's interesting as well, we're here at Planet Hollywood, which has some of the biggest names now in Las Vegas. Here they come, the big stars want to be here. Gwen Stefani wants to be here, Lionel Richie wants to be here, and Criss Angel's here. And you come up the escalator and the show starts from the second you collect your tickets. Again, that was important to you, wasn't it, to make sure the lobby is as exciting as the showroom?
I want people not to have to spend a penny and be able to have an amazing experience free. So they can come here, look at 13 of my motorcycles throughout the hotel. They can come to the lobby, interact with, you know, different engaging demonstrations that happen in the lobby. There's, you know, Gary Oldman, Oscar winner. There's, you know, Randy Couture, you know, so many different, Paul Stanley, different celebrities that are friends of mine that participated in the lobby experience. So the audience gets to appreciate this free. And there's so many really cool 3D holograms, true holograms that happen here. And it's just at a whole nother level. The technology in this show that we boast is beyond anything because I was able to garner with my brand the best companies in the world with the latest, greatest technologies. Panasonic, Lighthouse, Shure microphones, ETC, Screen Goo, and the list goes on and on and on. So we're really able to deliver a show that really is technologically the most sophisticated, you know, than any other show, at least for the next 6 months.
And what's interesting as well, and we're going to get to that next, because I want to talk about you being a nightmare, because I think you probably are to work with, because you never stop. The show's never good enough. When it becomes amazing, you want it to be more amazing. We'll get to that. On the technology front as well, you encourage people to text before the show, and you film them in the lobby, and then there they are on the screen. I guess you've got to tap into this. It's 2019. People are on their phones.
Yeah, why fight it? Embrace it, you know, and that's what this show has done. It's the first show to do it. And we're doing it in a huge way. We have, you know, almost 100 different screens just in the theater alone, over 50 different surface areas. So it's a really interesting concept. People really are used to sitting there at dinner and on their phones. So before the show starts, we encourage, take pictures with my stuff, come up on stage, go in my straitjacket, examine it, take a picture, put it on, get your wife in the straitjacket, get your husband in the straitjacket. You know, it's really fun. And I, in real time, am communicating with what's going on stage. Every night it's different. So it's you never know what's going to happen.
And this is Las Vegas. You do get the odd drunk person on stage as well. This is unfortunate.
Yes, we get many drunk people on stage, but that's Vegas. You know, Vegas people come here and they think rules don't apply. You can just do whatever you want to do. And in my showroom, we pretty much allow as much as we possibly can, provided it's still legal.
What do you like to work with? When I first met you 10 years ago in Believe, it was a great show. It was nothing wrong with it, but it wasn't good enough for you. And now you've created this show and you're still doing other projects, and we're going to get to TV in a minute. Do you ever stop? Is good enough ever good enough?
You ask me that question all the time, and the answer is no. I actually am not done with this show. I'm constantly making changes. I have the ending of the show going in, which is going to be an amazing tribute to all those men and women who have sacrificed limbs and life for our freedom all over the world. And it's going to celebrate all those countries that are free. It's going to be really a testament to how I can do this show with the ability of having the freedom to create magic. And so that's going in at the end of the month, next month. And I'm also working on a movie, which I'm working on right now. We'll be shooting. I have a new television project I'll be announcing shortly, and a project that will happen in New York that I'm going to announce probably in the next 2 weeks.
This is incredibly exciting. And again, the answer to the question is no, you will never stop. Even when this is done, it won't never be done, because you'll constantly be putting stuff in and taking out. And even in the last week, there is a different show than there was a week ago last Tuesday to tonight.
Yeah, I cut out over 30 minutes of material. I had over a 2-hour show. The idea is to always create a larger, longer show and then listen to the audience and do surveys and see what they like and what is not as strong. And through that process, create the strongest possible product. So I have over 30 minutes, probably a couple of $1 million that I just took out of the show and will save for other projects. But I have, almost 4 shows worth of material, probably more. So I'm going to be going back out on the road this year with Raw, with a new version of Raw. And so I'm always creating. That's my thing. I'm always working. I don't have a day off. I don't know what a day off is. I don't know what an hour off is. I just work, and I'll be doing this as long as I'm doing the show. I don't see me slowing down or stopping. I'm just so excited, and all of the opportunities already that have transpired because of this show is just incredible. People have never seen anything like it. Producers, directors, writers, the public. I just had Paul Stanley here, who's a friend of mine from Kiss, Gary Oldman, and everybody's just losing their mind. Just like, this is the president of Cirque du Soleil, Jerry Nadell, a great guy. I worked with him for 13 years, saw the show, and he was like, Chris, do you realize you're doing a show that no one's doing in Vegas, not even Cirque du Soleil? This is brilliant. This is the future, and you're doing it today.
Well, it's also contemporary. I don't want to slag off anybody in the art form that you represent, but unfortunately, it is mostly guys stood on a stage making something disappear and reappear, which is fine, but over 90 minutes it becomes dragging. I guess this shows the opposite to that. You never want us to get bored. Now, the problem with that is, of course, it's so multi-sensory, this show, whether it's the girls on the stage or the lights or the sound. Is there a point you have to stop? Because part of the Cirque theory was about distraction, wasn't it? And you do a lot of that in this show, where you've got so much going on. You could come tomorrow and see a completely different show. Is that intentional?
Well, yeah, I love control chaos where it belongs. For me as a director, I want to create a fully immersive experience, but I want to keep people's attention where it should be at the critical moments. When something's going to happen, they need to be focused on that. And all this other noise that's happening outside doesn't happen when those moments happen. For me, I wanted to show everybody, but more importantly to myself, that I had the ability I always knew I had to create something that had never been done before. I also knew that it would raise the bar for entertainment in Vegas, because magicians and shows have become so complacent. They're relying on what they did 25, 30 years ago. And this is the entertainment capital of the world. And people are spending a hell of a lot of money, and they deserve the best. And I don't feel, as a town, we're trying to reinvent entertainment. We're trying to bring in the latest technologies in a creative way that speaks to the audience. And I wanted the show to be the first, like O was, taking water into the desert and creating a spectacle that the world has never seen before. And I think that's why that's been so successful. The word of mouth on that show, still to this day, is incredible. It's an amazing show. It's Fellini and Dali coming to life, thanks to Franco Dragone. But this show, I think, does the same thing, not with water, with technology.
Yeah, it is incredible. Congratulations on everything. We need to get back to you because, of course, aside from the enormity of this show happening in the last 6 months, so much privately has been happening too. Congratulations. Where do we start? I mean, what a perfect time it is for you right now. Your son seems to be doing well. You have another child. Shawnee seems to be doing incredibly well. And you've got a family. I mean, this surely is every person's dream.
Yeah, I'm very blessed to have another beautiful, healthy boy, Christos Yanni, that was brought into the world January 22nd. He's adorable. And Johnny Christopher finishing his treatment of chemo for 3 years straight is beautiful. We have a documentary coming out called 1095. Just have to get to editing that. But we're going to raise a bunch of money. 100% of the proceeds will go to pediatric cancer research and treatment. And families that hear those horrible words that your son or daughter has cancer won't feel alone. They'll have something to watch to let them know that we went through the same thing, and the emotions and the emotional roller coaster that you go through is all normal and healthy. And so we wanted to do that. We're going to raise a bunch of money. I'm trying to raise $5 million in one night. I still haven't set the date, but I'm planning on doing it this year with Gary Oldman and our friends. So we're going to try to do a big event for pediatric cancer as well. Family is great, yeah, I'm just insanely busy. Planet Hollywood, Caesars has been just rolled out the red carpet. They have been amazing. Base Entertainment. I'm really happy with where I am in my career and where I'm going and what's planned for this year, because I don't think people have seen the best of me yet or the biggest of me yet. I think that's all coming. It's right there. I could see it, and people will see it very, very soon. And when they see the show, they'll see that that we're stepping up the game here.
And what's interesting about the last few years, no matter how wealthy you are, no matter your success or your fame or your 10 shows a week on the Las Vegas Boulevard, it won't save you in a time of crisis like you had medically. I mean, it just goes to prove no matter how big you are, the only thing that's going to get you through is hope and love, really.
Well, that's the most important thing, you know, love, health, and happiness. The things that you can't buy are the things that, if you have, you're the wealthiest person in the world. So to me, it's about those things, those non-materialistic things that are really important. And really, you know, when you leave this earth, all this doesn't go with you. So what people hold on to is really their memories. It's all about the memories you create today for people to remember tomorrow. And for me, I want to create beautiful experiences. I want to give people hope. I want people to fulfill their dreams, because at the end of the day, I'm not special. I'm not different. I'm like everybody out there. The difference might be that I bust my ass to achieve the goals I set. But anybody can do it if you're willing to work hard for it. And that's all that I do, is work really, really, really hard, and probably harder than anybody I know of in the entertainment world to achieve these dreams, because what I lack in talent, I make up for in stick-to-itiveness, tenacity, and hard work.
All the fans want to know about a TV show. The most asked question that they say, can you ask Criss, is when is he going to be back on TV? I was curious, I was sat next to one of the executives from NBC on Sunday night. Is there hope of anything happening on the TV in the near future?
Yes, yes, and yes.
You are truly one of the hardest working people I've ever met. This show is absolutely beautiful, and you can seriously put it against any new touring production in arenas or Broadway show or West End show. It is creatively spectacular. What you've done to the theatre is truly mind-blowing, and even the show goes out over the audience. I mean, it's not about what's behind the curtain. You've made this a completely 360 event for people.
Well, that's the idea, right? So there's a 100-foot ceiling that is LED, that there's no bad seat in the house. The balcony has the LED screen that starts from the stage and goes over the entire heads of the entire audience to the back wall of the theater. There's a 100-foot projection on both walls. The proscenium is made up of, you know, I don't know, more than a dozen LED monitors, 2.5 millimeter. There's a mid-stage LED, 40 by 20, a 60 by 22 foot upstage LED screen. There's projection on scrim. There's projectors, and I got the best projectors. I mean, I have, you know, multiple, many 30,000 lumen projectors, and I'm adding in a 50,000 lumen projector, which will be projection for the stage floor. So we will actually have the floor will be completely projection content as well. And if you just think about it, you know, the challenges of taking 50 screens and creating a 90-minute movie, original movie, not stock footage, but creating in my studio 90-minute content for one screen, then you have to make it for 49 other screens in order to have this video mapping immersive experience that all works together hand in hand so that the screens are pieces of a puzzle that make a big picture.
The end of the show, we have to talk about the levitation. I said to you after the show on Sunday, I think it is probably the greatest bit of theatre I've ever seen anywhere in the world, and certainly in magic, it's untouchable. It's so beautiful and so perfect, and nowhere in the world will you see anything like that right now. Congratulations on that scene alone is worth the money. It's utterly spectacular.
Well, thank you. That's 18 plus years in the making. And, I wanted to do a levitation many, many years ago that was in full stage light. Because when you see a magician do something where they're flying or levitating, it's either in silhouette, it's very dark. They have this need to prove by using hoops or cheesy ways of proving there's no wires, no bars, no hookups. I wanted to do it poetic. And walking down walls and up walls, I was the first guy to do that stuff. And so it was just a natural progression to use a ladder and to do it in a way where people are not quite sure where I'm going with it. And people absolutely go nuts with it. But what I discovered with this show, and I don't say this at all conceited, rather just as a fact and confidence, when I was doing Luxor, the show would peak and valley because we would have bits in there like comedy bits, cirque, and those were like the lower points. And then the magic, like the levitation or different things I would do, would be the higher points. So you had peaks and valleys. I took all the fat out. There's no filler, it's all killer. So the level that people expect from the beginning of the show is a non-stop pace. Usually you see a show that has an amazing opening, then it kind of dips down to like the middle, and then it has something that kind of dips down to the end. Here, it's 11 from beginning to end, and we peak and valley by taking people on an emotional roller coaster ride, but the strength and the power in the material is all there, and it's all in the same world. So this show, I could never create another one like it, because this show has been 20 plus years in the making, and I evolved and developed it for so many years, and I have the means and the studio and the ability to create all this additional content and own everything, every light, every video screen, every projector, every little bit. I don't rent anything. I own everything. So, this show would cost circa $200 million. I did it on their food budget, and I did it based on the Criss Angel brand, and the Criss Angel brand that people come to trust, like Panasonic, Lighthouse, all of these Green Hippo servers, all of these incredible companies that understand that I'm not going to do crap. I'm going to deliver something that's going to be high level because I have the best people working on it. And I've been blessed to have these incredible, smart, talented people that help take my vision and bring it to life, because I could never do this myself. This is beyond my comprehension, the technology that's in this show. It's miles and miles of cable, fiber optic lines. It's insane.
I've spent over a decade celebrating you and defending you and promoting you, and I continue to do so. I defy any critic or anybody to walk into that theatre and leave thinking it's any less than spectacular, brilliant, and world-class. Criss Angel, you've done it again. Thank you for your time.
I thank you so very much. That really means the world to me. And if you haven't seen Mindfreak here at my home, Planet Hollywood, please come and experience it. It's unlike any show out there.